Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. I'm your host and your boy, Little Man Gaming. As we last left off, we were searching for a safe because I have the code. I don't know where the safe is. And we also need evidence for Hilda and Dr. Richard Dunham. Just gonna quickly get my notes up. There it is. So let's see if we can't go and find the safe. And whatever other security measures were put in place. Because we saw that book that listed like loads of different things. I think it's not going to be in here.
June in Costa Rica.
I'm going to be like hidden behind here, is it? Doesn't look like it. So I have a feeling if he's gonna have a safe hidden somewhere, it's gonna be in like an, I was gonna say a bedroom or an office of some form. And you can't get in there either. I'd like to see what's in there. She was the ghoul as well, wasn't she? I did tell to leave, and I said the would, but I failed the roll, which is why he's hungry. So I can't quite tell if this is like a office room or if this is just like a...
Lydia and June at the beach.
just like a living room. Yeah, that was about his trip. Yeah, I've already read them.
I should put some money on that.
If we can't find it, then we'll go and I think the best course of action is to try and find. Yeah, sorry, not the office room. Try and find where. Not try and find where. Try and speak to the shaken up dude down here. Let's see what he's saying.
Mr. Adams.
No, this can't be happening.
Adams.
What a nightmare. So much blood.
I've got a few questions.
I tried to help him. I told him we should call 911. I told him.
Calm him down, it's not his fault, he needs to get a hold of himself. Let's calm him down.
Sir, listen to me. It's all right. Calm down. You're safe and you did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I need you to answer a few questions for me.
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
About the Moore family. Can you tell me about Moore, his wife, their daughter, the bodyguards, and the evening? Let's start with the top one.
Did you know Mr. Moore well?
We weren't friends, if that's what you're asking. But we got to know each other. With time. He was a creature of habit. Since he worked late, he would often ask me for things at night. A newspaper, batteries, ice. I think he asked me for just about everything. I prided myself on always being able to get what he needed, no matter what time it was. You'd have thought he pretty much lived after dark.
Like his clients.
Did he have any enemies?
Did he have any enemies that you were aware of?
No. He was a very respectable man. No bad company or anything.
Except for us.
Any visitors?
Did Mr. Moore have many visitors?
For a man with his status, it was nothing surprising. But, well...
Yes?
His visitors mostly came in the middle of the night. I must admit, that's a little unusual.
That's what working for us is like.
He told me he had a lot of foreign clients, and he had to juggle different time zones. That's what working from home is like. He had colleagues over for late-night meetings, too. But since little June was born, not as many people came around.
That was wise. Without any disrespect to the deceased, were you aware of any extramarital affairs he may have had?
Mr. Moore was a good man. He would never have disrespected his wife, or even contemplated it, I'm sure.
She could have been okay with it. There were no young women coming and going.
That's a very inappropriate question. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Let's move on. Tell me about his wife.
Do you know his wife?
Mrs. Moore is a model resident. She always has something nice to say to the staff. And is the first to welcome new neighbors, too. A true lady.
Let's... Calm down. Noisy breeder. Let's try and find out if she's faithful.
Do you think she could have been having an affair?
She's a very respectable woman who loves her husband very much. I don't know what sick kind of world you live in.
And you would certainly not like to find out.
They had their ups and downs, just like any couple. The staff had noticed that she went to Costa Rica fairly often without her husband.
Was she thinking of leaving him?
Not at all. Just the opposite. She begged him to spend more time with her and their daughter.
Where is she?
Do you know where she is?
Mr. Moore told me she'd gone to their home in Costa Rica. She goes there pretty often. She's an architect, and she likes to work in her home country. She has family there.
Do you think anyone could have been so angry with her that they could have taken it out on her husband?
Oh, no. I don't think so. It's true that lots of people could have been jealous of her. But not to that point.
Tell me about the daughter.
I imagine the girl left with her mother.
Not at all. It was the start of the school year, and Mrs. Moore left 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen her since Monday, when Mr. Moore took her to school on the first day. She must be staying with a friend. Poor little thing. Thank heaven she wasn't here.
Do you know his bodyguards?
Yeah, there's Jack, James, and Wu. But you won't hear me singing their praises.
Why not?
Oh, they're good at strutting around and acting tough when everything is going well. But where were they tonight? Can you tell me that? That was their job, right? They were paid to protect him.
Do you have any idea where they might have gone?
No. But believe you me, if I ever see them again, I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind.
Tell me about the evening.
Tell me about the evening again, please. What happened tonight?
Mr. Moore left with his 3 bodyguards earlier in the evening. One of them got in the car, and Mr. Moore came down around midnight.
And then?
They came back around 2 a.m. Mr. Moore was limping. He was leaning on one of his bodyguards, and he was bleeding.
Was he injured?
I told him I could call an ambulance or a doctor, but he didn't answer. I went closer to insist, but Wu told me they were in control of the situation, that it was no big deal. They went upstairs, and I saw drops of blood in front of the elevator. I told myself they were being unreasonable. What did those 2 goons know about it? So I called Mr. Moore on the internal line several times.
Did he pick up?
Not once. So I went upstairs and rang the doorbell, but nobody answered. So I went back down to the front desk and I called you.
Did the right thing, I'd say. At the parking garage.
The lieutenant told me there was an access to the basement.
Yes, using the service elevator through the kitchen. You need a magnetic pass to use it. I gave the spare to your colleagues who wanted to go down there. I still have the original. Do you want it?
Please.
Thank you. And get into the
Thank you
room
for your
upstairs
statement.
as well.
You have to find out who did this, officer. Justice needs to be done for him. And for his family.
And we need to find out who's messing with us. That's what we're here for. You can count on us. Stick around in case we have more questions.
Caleb's like the model kindred. I need to find someone to kill. My god, I'm hungry. That's probably talking to you. I think it was you over here, if I remember correctly. Yes, it was.
Sorry, Smith. A little busy here.
Meet me there.
Of course.
Of course. Just about. Push that one a bit closer. Controlled hunt. What's that do? Talents. Talents increase your abilities. Each talent is tied to a specific action. Repeating these actions will progressively unlock the tiers of a talent. Complete a quest without having hunted any prey. That would be impressive. Controlled hunt. Feed on prey without killing it. Plus 1 additional hunger eliminated on a controlled hunt. The minus 50% speed is going to be beautiful. I assume this counts just for... Oh. So there is bonus if you kill them as well. resonance bonus. Let's go up here. Let's go to this door. Watch this, have the safe, and have to go chase around like a headless chicken all this time. Oh.
Fine vintages imported from Europe. Moore knew how to treat his guests.
So that leads me to them.
Wet laundry. Mold. It's been here for several days.
Rosy reds. For all in your red washing needs. Okay. Pull the other over. Let's go down.
Can you take a look at the cards, please?
I'll run the plates.
Hey, mister. You can't go into the parking garage. It's a crime scene.
Agent Smith, FBI.
Oh, hi. Officer Norton. Hey, they didn't tell me you were coming down.
Got something?
Wyatt saw Moore leave at 2:25.
Wyatt?
The parking attendant, part security guard, part valet. Anyway, a car that belonged to the victim left in a hurry. Or at least he thought it was Moore, until he found out he got his head cut off. There's skid marks on the ground and signs of a minor accident at the exit. He must have really been in a hurry.
What? I really would have helped about deduction.
Well, I've got a few questions.
So
Where's the witness?
Wyatt? He's in the security booth over there. He's super nice. I don't think you'll need to question him again.
You mentioned skid marks.
Yeah, they're very distinct. They start from his parking space and go all the way to the exit. They clean this place twice a day, so there's no doubt they're fresh. The driver peeled out of here in a hurry.
And you said there was an accident near the exit.
Yeah, minor one. Broken headlight, paint marks. He must have had a hard time handling it.
Do we know what kind of car it was?
Yeah, we called it in. It's the victim's sports car. Wyatt said there's only the sedan left.
Did you find anything else?
No, that's it. Since we're still waiting for forensics, we gotta be careful. But you know how it is, right? Let me know if you have any other questions.
Thank you, Officer Norton. You've been incredibly helpful.
Any news, guys?
Still looking.
Confidential file of Hilda McAndrews.
Hilda's planned for everything, even her eventual end.
Dear Madam, although she's not directly involved in the world of finance, Hilda McAndrews has a keen instinct for leveraging her assets. She knows exactly what she wants and how to get it, which makes her interactions quite simple. Her business as an art dealer is quite conventional, though the scope of her dealings is vaster than with any of my other clients. Miss McAndrews has made it very clear that she wishes to differentiate her personal acquisitions, which she keeps in her private collection, from the pieces she acquires for investment purposes. On this matter, I I admit. I am impressed by her knowledge of the field. She very rarely makes transactions at a loss, and when she does, the loss is immediately compensated by a true master stroke. She leaves nothing to chance, which is reassuring for an asset manager, especially when dealing with such large amounts. The rest of her day-to-day transactions reflect the usual lifestyle of a person of her rank within your prestigious organisation. There isn't much to report in that regard. Miss McAndrews likes nice things, and this is reflected in her expenditures. In regard to the Roseman Society, her foundation, Miss McAndrews prefers to be in charge of every single transaction. There is no question of my putting trusted managers in charge of it. The only leeway I am given is with regard to the purely financial side of it, which she does not concern herself with. Foundation's activities are entirely focused on art, grants to schools throughout the world, holding conferences and exhibits in major cultural centres, donations to charitable organisations, residencies, competitions. Although it's not well known to the public, the Rosemond Society is a major player in the art world. This naturally requires significant financial power, which is why the Foundation is courting the world's greatest fortunes and companies who seek recognition or just want to burnish their image. There are also some quid pro quos in exchange, of course, such as works of art by up-and-coming artists donated for free, or invitations to charity galas that give good press. Recently, even Mr. Beryl Underwood was approached by Miss McAndrews to stimulate financial contributions to the Foundation. They seem to have set up an organisation that deals in art trafficking. I've disclosed all the documents needed to confirm these activities.
Hilda's planned for everything, even her eventual end.
There is one particular issue that requires your attention. Miss McAndrews has asked me to draw up a sort of will for her. I was surprised by her request in and of itself, as I am not a lawyer and I have no experience in drafting this sort of document. And given your longevity, I was under the impression that inheritance was not a concern that preoccupied you. However, this was not the question I wanted to draw your attention to. Rather, I wanted you to be aware of the identity of the beneficiary of most of Miss McAndrews' property. Her belongings are to bequeath to a certain Louise, whom I do not have the pleasure of having met, but who it would appear is relatively little involved in your court. It seems to me that there is a risk of having so many assets removed from your circle of influence. If Miss McAndrews were to pass away, I recommend the utmost vigilance on this matter. Your eternal servant, J. Moore. That's Hilda's.
Any news, guys?
We just need Richard
Still
now.
looking.
Assuming there's going to be nothing else of real import, apart from maybe talking to the dude, the eyewitness of the runaway vehicle.
Shit.
Do you know if our backup's on the way? This should take a long time.
Agent Smith, FBI.
Oh, hello. McLean. Can I help you?
Just a few questions. Moore had several cars, right?
Yeah, I think so. But you better talk to Wyatt about that.
Okay.
Your colleague mentioned an accident that happened tonight. Do you know anything about it?
Oh, no. Not yet. Wyatt told us everything he knows.
You questioned the caretaker when you arrived?
We didn't have to. Wyatt told us everything we needed. He's a real team player. If you want to find out more, you should talk to,
Wyatt.
Oh, so you know him too?
No, you just wouldn't kind of let up on the fact.
A vehicle ran into the wall.
You already knew that guy that you was told. Got car parks. Whose car's this, I wonder? How do I get that key? Fire exit, and then there's the security room. Still alive.
Hello, Mr. Bazori.
You must be mistaken. I'm Smith, Agent Smith.
Yeah, sure.
Do I know you?
Everyone knows who you are.
Is it just me, or are you pals with all the cops around here?
Let's just say I'm pretty intuitive. You know what I mean. In the years you've been hunting us, you've acquired a hell of a reputation among our kind. I didn't know you would come. I'm not looking for any trouble. I didn't do anything wrong.
Just who the hell are you?
Me? I'm nobody. The name's Wyatt Alvarez. I was embraced 5 years ago.
A thin blood. I spent years hunting them when Quentin King ruled Boston.
Unfortunately for me, the blood of my sire was already weak. So I can still catch glimpses of the sun, but I don't have actual powers.
Let's ask if he's declared himself to the prince.
Do the kindred know you exist?
Yeah. I followed the rules, but the prince told me he never wanted to see me again, so I try not to make waves. I try to help out, here and there. I'm hoping someone will notice one day, and I'll be allowed to become a true kindred.
That's not very likely, if you ask me.
I hope it works out for him. Never.
I hope it works out for you.
I'm doing what I can. Actually, if you could put a word in with the prince, I'd be eternally grateful.
I don't get involved in that kind of thing.
Of course, obviously. But seeing as how I'm already working for your child, Mr. Underwood, I thought that maybe...
You work for Beryl?
Yes. I also work at a red salon, a couple of hours each day.
What do you do there, exactly?
Cleaning, mostly.
Who is it, either?
Who created you?
His name was Victor, but he died last year.
What is he doing now?
What are you doing here, then?
I thought it was a pretty cushy gig. It leaves me with a lot of spare time, even while I'm on the job. And it also means I can live at night.
Are you involved in what happened up there?
Not at all. I swear. I've got a sweet job here. I'd never risk it.
Let's have him go over the night's events.
So what happened?
I've got no clue. My shift started at 10 p.m., as usual. The 6th floor tenant left around 11. At midnight, one of Mr. Moore's bodyguards came down to get the car. They were going to a party, apparently. I didn't see them come back. Then, around 2:20 or so, one of Mr. Moore's cars went flying out of here. It hit the wall near the exit.
Yeah, I see him.
Did you recognize the car?
Yeah, it was his sports car. The only one like it here.
I love how they keep saying his sports car. Like there isn't loads in the world.
Did you see who was behind the wheel?
No, it's got tinted windows. I thought it was Mr. Moore at first. But from what happened upstairs, I doubt it now. Hey, were you the one who...
You really think if it was me who did it, I'd be standing around here trying to figure out what happened?
That was... Yeah, he's about to ask a stupid-ass question. Do you know, Mr. Moore?
What can you tell me about Moore?
I saw him a lot. He's the tenant I got to know best because of his working hours. And he was the most generous when it came to maintaining his cars, too.
About his family?
Anything in particular about Mrs. Moore?
Yeah, I see her every once in a while. Sometimes I see her with a girl, coming back from vacation. Sure is good they weren't here tonight.
What makes you say that?
Well, Mrs. Moore's car. I haven't seen it in the garage for weeks, and she's the one who took the girl to school. Mr. Moore told me they were on vacation, and he was going to go join them soon.
I thought the caretaker said it was Mr. Moore who took the girl to school.
Did you see the bodyguards today?
James came by earlier this evening to move Mr. Moore's car, but I haven't seen them since.
That'll be all for now.
At your service, Mr. Bazzori.
Okay.
An old glass bottle taken from the trash.
So why is it taken from the trash though?
An old glass bottle taken from the trash.
Why is it just this one object? It's glowing up. It's not interactable. That's weird.
Did you want something else?
No.
That'll be all for now.
At your service, Mr. Bazzori.
The only thing I can think of is maybe the power is strong enough. Oh. I'll be taking that though. I assume that will lead to this one. Yes. Blood watch. So I'd be replacing what I've got. Your opponent cannot use focus whilst you were focusing. That's quite good. Chance of successive disciplines increases by 25% in case of a tie. The risk of opponent focus increases by 10%. I mean, it's good if I'm going to use focus in everything, but not amazing.
There's nothing in it.
See what's through this door. Looks like there's...
I have to find a way to open it. No. That's impossible. I have to find a way to open it.
This one's been messed with.
No. That's impossible. No. That's impossible.
I now know bit I want to get into. I'll go the other safe zone. Last one on this level, I assume. How am I meant to work with these? I have no clue what they are apart from recycle dumps, I assume.
Can't be forced. I have to find a way to open it.
that should be, yeah, just over half hour. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode. Thank you all for joining me. I've been Little Man Gaming. This has been Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. I hope you all join me in the next one. Ta-ta for now.